Hey, 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 what's going on, party people? What's up? So, we are on day 4 of the challenge, and we are going to get started shortly. While I'm waiting for those of you, while I'm waiting for everyone to pop on, I'm just going to check the audio to make sure that you all can hear me okay. Let's see here. Groups, your groups. How are you this evening or this morning if you're watching this on the replay? Um, where are we? Is it here? So it looks like it's taking a little while to show in the group. Um, hmm. Let's see. So it looks like it's taking a little while to. Wow, right? Hello, 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 hello. We are going to get started. This is the challenge, How to Fire Your Boss and Create Your High Ticket Coaching Program. We are on day 4 of the challenge. Ooh, excuse me. As you can see, I have a little bit of allergy. I think it's allergy. It feels like a cold, but I'm not sure. Could be allergy. I don't know. We'll see. However, hello and how are you doing? So today we are going to get started. Well, this evening we're going to get started with the challenge. Before we dive in, I have a little bit of updates. So I'm going to just talk about a little bit of behind the scenes of a little bit of housekeeping before we dive into the challenge. So, for those of you who are just popping into the challenge, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am hosting this in my private group, The Purpose Ladder to Success, but I'm also hosting this on my page or at my business page as well over at the Tea Talk Show. And for those of you who have missed out on the challenge, so we're on day 4, and this is why it pays to be in my group or my email list, because those are the people who get the first dibs up, okay? Meaning that they get access to everything. If you're on my email list, you get priority first, and then the group, okay, and then the page. So that's the order that it goes in case you're wondering, like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know this was happening. Well, it's happening, and we're having a blast. And so I want to tell you everything that we have covered so far so that I can get you up to speed and show you how you can catch up. We have one more day left, which is tomorrow, where we are going to be finishing up the challenge. But so far, we've been doing some wonderful things. So let me tell you what's happening. So right now you have access to, let me see if I could remove the banner. Let's see. Let's do that. Here we go. So right now, let's see if it'll zoom in. Right now, this is the workbook that we are working from, okay? And I don't know why my lighting does this. So whenever I put this up here, my lighting, which has nothing to do with the camera, it does something. I don't know why it does that. So in any event, the Create Your High Ticket Coaching Program and Fire Your Boss is a workbook. It's a good, I want to say 13 pages of stuff. And this is when you register for the challenge, which is free, right? You get access to the workbook. Now, for those of you who missed out already on the videos, because we have done a lot already. So let me just cover what we have done already. So you can be like, oh my goodness, how do I get access? And I need to catch up. I got you. So first of all, let me just introduce myself since I haven't done that. And I know many of you are probably watching this on my page. If you are new to me, I'm Terrell P. I'm a motivational business strategist and writing coach. I help entrepreneurs create more income, impact, and visibility online and offline by writing either a purposeful book, packaging your signature service into a high-ticket coaching program, and packaging your expertise so that you can create your own wealth around you, right? And fire your boss and do all of the things that you wanted to create your own time, hit your income goals, all of those wonderful things. That's what I help you to achieve. Okay, so with that being said, I decided to do this challenge because a lot of times what I see happening is that I'm always getting questions about how do I get out of my sucky job of my 9 to 5, and how do I replace my income with a signature service or package my expertise and price it correctly. So when clients come to me, usually that's the hardest thing that they have to do is actually articulate how much their value is versus what they are charging. And that's something that I work closely with my clients inside of Dreams to Driven, which is my signature coaching program, where I take clients through my process of having a strong mindset so that you feel comfortable and confident to charge your prices and package your expertise so that you are coming to a place of selling your services and creating what you are meant to sell without actually I don't want to say jeopardizing, but without, what's the word I'm looking for? Without giving up any part of your zone of genius, right? So I help you to make sure that you are dialed into your true purpose and are bringing forward your gifts, right? So with that being said, we've covered a lot already. So the workbook that I created for everyone who's in the challenge, okay, if you're in the group, then most of you already have the workbook. If you have not registered, you're missing out. I will tell you how to get access to everything in a minute. But let me just tell you what we've covered so far. So far, day one, we have covered your why. We talked about why do you want to fire your boss, right? So we started setting intentions, basically to just formulate what it is that you really want and what does that look like for you, because everyone is different, right? So this workbook actually is a guide to help you clear out anything that could be holding you back, right? Because that's something that's important. So we went through a couple questions. Day one has 5 questions that you could actually work through. There's also a little bit more of pages in the back that you can actually, put more notes. That's why it's good to register, and it's also good to do the workbook, as the guide, because it's going to guide you through the process, right? So that was day one. We set our intention, so specifically, you know why you want to create a high ticket offer and getting you really, really super duper clear on your topic. Okay, so that was day one. Day two, and I'm always smiling when I get into day two. I'm going to admit it that day two is my favorite day in the challenge, and I will tell you why. So day two is all about numbers. And for those of you who know me, I come from the banking industry. I spent the last 20 years working for one of the top financial institutions for many years. I was in management. I started out at the age of 19. While I was in college and doing all of those things, I was running a multi-million-dollar branch. And, so for me, numbers has always been a part of my life, right? Working with business owners, working with businesses, surrounded about making money and growing. And this is why I do what I do, because that is a part of my background, right? So it did not just land on me, right? No, I've been doing this for quite a very long time, and I packaged that into my services, right? So day two, we talked about the numbers, specifically how much money do you actually need to fire that job that most of you hate so much. Let's just talk about it, right? I've been there. If you are hating that job, right? You hate getting up in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, I know I'm built to do more and I know I want to do more, but I just need to figure out what I need to do and how much money do I actually need to replace my income. Well, that's what we did yesterday. I had a whole spreadsheet that we went through. Actually, that was day two. So there was a 2-part. The first part was the spreadsheet that we went through. And in the spreadsheet, we talked about your expenses, what that looks like versus your salary, right? Because a lot of times everyone is under the assumption that you have to replace your salary before you can actually leave or quit your 9 to 5. And I like to say your job is your investor, right? So you want to keep that job working for you. Your job should be your investor, pumping your business, your dreams, right? So if you're working a 9 to 5, you're building someone else's dream. The goal is to build your own dream, right? So if you want to build your own dream, you need to know your numbers, right? You have to know your numbers. And me personally, I'm always running numbers. I wish I could show you, but I'm not going to get up. But I have like 3 calculators always around, right? Because I like to make sure that I'm projecting correctly, right? I have a whiteboard over here that has my yearly numbers broken out by quarters. I got quarter 2, 3, 4, everything that's going on going into next year, right? Into 2022, right? So everything is out with numbers, right? So what we did on day 2 was we went through your expenses and showed what that looks like, right? So I put together a beautiful spreadsheet. All you have to do is plug in your numbers in the day of the challenge for day 2. If you missed it, it's okay. You can get the lifetime access by clicking the link in the comment section. I have posted the link for you. So for those of you who have missed day 1, day 2, day 3, so let me talk about day 3 a little bit. Day 2, we talked about what your numbers is, right? And we talked about specifically what is your replacement income? Your replacement income is your income that you need in order to take the leap, right? Because for everyone is different. So we talked about what it looks like at the 6-month mark, what it looks like at the 12-month mark, and then your replacement income, right? And how to get to that number. And then on day 3, because this is a 2-part, so we went through the spreadsheet on day 2, which everyone who's registered, you have access to that. If you get the lifetime access, you get that. Plus, you get all of the videos that are only up for 24 hours. So this video that you see here is only going to be up for 24 hours. And after that, it goes into my vault for my private clients. So unless you're a private client or you purchase the lifetime access, you will not have access. So I want you to have access. I want you to get the spreadsheet, work through the video, go through everything that we have already covered so that you can set yourself up for success. Okay. So on day 3, so on day 2, we covered your replacement income. Day 3, we cover your actual, what it looks like to, so we did a little bit of a case study with Sheila and we talked about, how she should price her signature service after she has her replacement income and what that would look like for you, how to close the gap with getting from the number of where you are in your job. So if you're like, okay, I have $100,000 in expenses per month, or 50,000 or 4,000, whatever that number is for you. Each person is different. We talked about how to replace it, right? What does that look like by replacing that number? So we backed into the numbers with that so that you could see what it looks like to price your actual signature service. Okay, because you need to know what you're pricing it at, and also how to close the gap, right? So that's what we did yesterday. So if you missed that from yesterday, if you missed, what's today? Today is Thursday. So if you missed Wednesday, right, of closing the gap, if you miss replacing your income on day 2, and if you miss setting your intentions on what you want, then you want to get the actual replay, the lifetime access of everything, so you can go back over the weekend and set yourself up so that when Monday comes, you don't have the Monday morning blues. You have a plan in place, right? The goal is to have a plan and execute and follow through. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, that's the goal. Okay. So today we're moving forward, and now we are talking about understanding. Excuse me. Today it's all about understanding your personal numbers and the pricing structure. This is so that you can, I'm sorry, that's what we covered already. Day 4, see, I'm going back. I'm a little bit tired. Excuse me. Day 4 is all about understanding your high ticket offer and the mindset of your buyers. Yes, the mindset of your buyer, right? So, the reason why we are talking about the mindset of your buyer and what it looks like for you to actually, set up your high ticket coaching program, before you can even start articulating that, right? You want to ask yourself a couple of questions, right? And this is why it's good to have your workbook. I'm going to add in the workbook. So this is what I am coaching from right now. Let me just go into the actual Give me 1 second. See, I'm a little bit more prepared today. Yesterday, I had a challenge with trying to get this to pull up, and I finally was able to do it really, really quickly this time. So I'm super pumped about that. So here we are. Okay. Excuse me. So this is everything that we have covered already. This is day one. Again, if you missed any of this, you can get access to this workbook by registering, and I will put the link in the comment section or above this video for you. Again, this will only be up for 24 hours, so you want to make sure that you go ahead, and if you're watching this video, you still have time to actually go ahead and get everything once you register. So we are on day 4. Today is all about understanding your high ticket offer and the mindset of your buyer, right? The mindset of your buyer. So, first, before we could talk about your buyer, right? So, we talked about yesterday what it looks like from the standpoint of you knowing what you want to charge for, your client, right? So now we're flipping it a little bit and we're talking about um the mindset of your buyer, but also understanding who this person is and how to get them, how to align yourself with the right person, right? And what that looks like at a higher level, right? So we're talking about creating your high ticket coaching program. And as I said yesterday, the reason why we're doing high ticket and not low ticket, like low ticket sales, but it's more volume, right? You need more volume. So for instance, yesterday, I think I gave the example, if you have a book and you're selling that book for $19.99, because I work a lot of times with authors. I'm not exclusive to authors, but I'm an author and I have a publishing company. So a lot of times they come through the process of first they write their book, and then they step into Dream the Driven, and we build out their high ticket coaching program. Although I do get clients who step directly into Dream the Driven because they already either have an idea or they know like they need to package their expertise and they want to level up, right? So if you're in your professional, your 9 to 5, and you're struggling, that's my zone of genius to help you to pull it together, right? So that's what we do inside of Dream the Driven. But one of the things that usually comes up a lot of times is the pricing piece of that. But also when we start talking about high ticket, people get a little bit frustrated. They're like, oh my goodness, what is high ticket? And I don't know if I feel comfortable and I'm not sure. And a lot of times all of that wavering going back and forth comes into place because number one, you don't know your true value. You're not articulating your value correctly, right? And you're not clear on your offer, right? And that's something that I work really closely with my clients. We start from the bottom up. So we work with your mindset, setting your goals, visualizing your avatar, uh, actually making sure that you are in full alignment before you even get started, because a lot of times we realize we're great at a lot of things, but that doesn't mean we should be teaching it, right? Or the thing that you don't want to do is the thing that you're great at, but you don't know how to package it and tell people who you are, what you do, and how to show up. So the reason why we are focusing on high ticket and not low ticket offers is because number one, if you want to fire your boss, that's the quickest way to get to your goal, right? Because you're pricing it based off of your value and the transformation that your clients is going through, right? That is an experience, right? So, when you work with me in any capacity, I always make sure that we focus on motivation and mindset, because I feel like that is the key component to getting to your goals, right? If you can have a strong mindset, you can do almost anything you put your mind to, right? So, like, there's no limitations. So, I go, and I don't want to use the term balls to the wall, but I do that because I take a stand for your vision, right? So when clients come to me and I know that they are valuable, or they've been working in their jobs for a very long time, or they've been doing something for a long time, and maybe just helping people for a very long time, or maybe it's something new that they want to do, right? But they know that they have a process, but yet they don't feel confident to charge what they want to charge. And all of that stems back to the value of pulling it all together. And so this is what we're talking about tonight. Okay. So tonight we're talking about The high ticket of how do you get to a place. So first, if you don't know what high ticket is, it depends. It's subjective. I said this yesterday. It's subjective, meaning that depending on who you're talking to, some people may say, oh, that's anything over $2,000. Oh, that's anything over $3,000. Oh, that's anything over $5,000. Oh, that's anything over $10,000. So for the sake of for a sake of this um, challenge, we're going to say, and I usually tell my clients anything over $3,000 is considered high ticket, or 2,500 if you feel confident. But if you're going to say 2,500, you may as well round it up to 3,000, right? So if you are in the workbook, okay, the first thing, and I just want to make sure because I think I put my notes over here. Sorry, guys. The first thing you want to do, okay, is really be really clear on why do you want this offer, right? So why do you want this offer? And a lot of times when we are pulling together our high ticket offers, or we have a vision about what we're going to be selling, uh, we don't really take the time to really write out why do we want this offer, right? What is the overall goal for the client, right? What is the overall goal? And that's important, right? So I want you to think about, why do you want this offer? Okay. And so I'll give you an example. So if you're a fitness coach, right? And you're like, okay, I know I'm a fitness coach and I help vegans, right? And I help people who are, so this is an example that I'm giving you right now. So you can see how to answer this question for you, right? So if you are a fitness coach, you focus on vegans, right? So maybe you focus on people who want to transition into becoming a vegan, right? So why do you want to the offer that you're creating for them? The question would be, why do I want to offer this offer for my client, right? So what is the biggest result that they're going to get from this offer? Okay, so that's how you can answer that. Why do you want this offer? Okay, so that's something that you can ask yourself. And then the second part to that, why do you want this offer, is, do you know if people actually need it, right? So is it a need for this thing, right? So when you start to creating something, you want to start thinking about, well, is this something that people really need, right? One of the things that I do is I have my clients to validate their offers, right? So we actually do some market research and see, do people really want this thing, right? Because you don't want to be pulling stuff from the thin air. We're not doing that, not in this day and age. You can survey your audience. You can do multiple things to ask people what it is that they want and how to make sure that you are creating what they need. So why do you want the offer is the first part to the question, okay? And have you validated it, okay? And do you know if people really need it, okay? That's question one. Number two is, who is it for? And we kind of touched on this a little bit when I said you want to make sure that you are validating your offer, but you also want to build it out a little bit, right? So, because we're not trying to sell to everyone. And I think that's the misconception when we start um, pulling together programs and start creating. As a creator, we think that everybody wants everything, and the reality is that it's not for everyone. So one of the things that I do inside of Dream to Driven, and I love Dream to Driven, so for those of you who if we have not worked together yet, I would highly recommend that you book a call with me and talk about if Dream to Driven is a fit for you. But one of the things that we do inside of there is we customize who your ideal client is, right? So who is it for and what does that look like? And that goes beyond just the demographics, right? So a lot of times we think about, oh, this person is between the ages of 30 to 40, da, 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 da. No, we're moving past the demographics and getting into the meat and potatoes, right? So I want you to think about, have you properly identified who your offer is for, right? Who is it for? Is it for men? Is it for women? Is it for children? Is it for high level executives? Is it for women of a certain ethnic background? Is it for people who are, so now I'm going back to the fitness example. Is it for women who have just had a baby and now they are trying to get off that baby weight, right? Or lose that last 15, 20 pounds, whatever it is, right? So I want you to think about specifically who is it for, okay? And why do they need the offer? Okay? Why do they need it? Right? So if we were going back to that fitness example, the question would be, why do they need the offer? So what is the benefit of that? Okay? And then the last question, so day 4, like these questions are very clear and concise because it takes time to think about it. And I want you to take some time and go through the process. Okay. Um, so what is the transformation that you will be providing? This is huge, 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 right? So when I think about this, and I always talk about this, so I'll just use this as an example because I love this. So when you think about transformation, because people be like, well, what do you mean by transformation? Like, I don't provide it. If you have something to sell, or if you have a vision, right? Then you have already been through the process, right? So you have some form of methodology, right? There's a methodology to what you are doing. What I do is help you to pull it out of you, navigate it, and make sure that it is valuable so that you can add the right pricing to it, right? So that you feel comfortable. So we stack your value inside of dream to driven, okay? So what is the transformation you will be providing basically formulates into this. So for those of you who are Christians, or if you go to church, whatever religion you are, it really doesn't matter. But if you do happen to go to church, usually what I like to say is that a lot of times you may be feeling a little down before you go, right? And then when you go to church, right? So I'm Baptist. Usually in Baptist Black churches, right? It's usually high volume with gospel music, right? So you know, the minute you come in, you're gonna get your spirits lifted from the choir. Then you know that, well, I know in my church that my pastor is going to deliver a awesome sermon, right? And I know no matter how I came in, I'm not going to go out the way that I came in. So if I came in maybe not feeling so great, right? Maybe I had the day, or, just had a hard week, because we have those, right? We all have those days where you have a hard week, a hard day, whether that's in your job or wherever, right? Maybe the kids are driving you nuts, your husband is driving you nuts, whatever. The minute you step into that church, right? And you know that after you hear the uplifting service, after you hear the choir, right? After you go through the whole process, when you leave, you're going to feel motivated, right? So you have your spirit has transformed, right? So this is the same type of transformation you want your clients to go through, right? So I want you to think about, what is that bring to the table, right? So for me specifically, inside of driven, the information that I provide, not only do I give my client accountability and I shift their mindsets from limiting beliefs of feeling not worthy to feeling confident, and knowing that without a shadow of a doubt that their expertise is enough, right? And their education is enough, or the lack thereof, right? Because a lot of times we hold ourselves back because getting into the imposter syndromes, thinking we're not good enough, right? Or comparing ourselves to others, right? So what I do inside of Dream to Driven, my transformation is helping clients to not just create your signature service, but helping you so that you feel confident and comfortable with your pricing, comfortable with your services, comfortable with knowing what you have is enough, but also building out your value, right? Building it out so that when you could come in feeling like, I don't know what I'm going to do, and then when you're done, you're like, I feel amazing. My clients are always like, Tara, I don't know how you're able to pull all of this out of me, but I feel good. You are changing my life, right? And so I'm going to put I need to update my testimonials because I have not done that lately. But after this, because I'm in a cycle now with clients who are going to be coming out, I will update my testimonials so you can hear directly from my clients. But it's amazing to see the transformation that they go through. But that's because I'm clear on what my offer is, I'm clear on my transformation, right? I know what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of. So I know that my clients, when they are working with me, I know what my goals are. I know that when they can start out feeling, you know, unworthy or not really confident or not, feeling like they can charge that high ticket number. And when we're done, they're like, oh, yes, I know exactly what I want. I feel so 100% confident that most of the time, when I tell them that they need to change their pricing, they don't have an issue with it because now they know what their value is. So that's the question for you, is what is the transformation you will be providing? Okay, so these are the questions. This is your homework for day 4. For those of you who are in the group, you can post your homework inside of the group. Okay, I am going to come off of this. So like I said, you can post your homework inside of the group. You can answer the questions, okay, inside of the group. If you are watching this on the replay, I want you to not just be um, a speculator, right? Someone who's sitting on the sidelines. I want you to actually do the work, right? This is for you. This is free. Whenever I see that there's an opportunity to uh, up level myself, I would jump on it. I would not wait. The workbook is free when you register. You get access to the workbook. What you don't get access to is the replays. That's something that you have to purchase because that's going to be going for my private clients. Okay. So that's what I have for you for today. Okay. I want you to drop your questions in the comment section. I'm going to just check because yesterday we had questions and they were in here and I didn't even realize it. We have no questions at all. If you're watching this on a replay, drop your questions and you can tag me and I will circle back and answer any questions that you have. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how to kill self-doubt, right? What that looks like, and how to charge your worth and feel 100% confident. Okay, so I'm going to give you that. Make sure you come live because I do have something special for those of you who are here live and I don't want you to miss it. Okay, what else? I will say this video will be up for 24 hours. After the 24 hours, it's going to go away. The videos are going to go away. And some of you that are not doing the challenge, you're going to miss out, right? You're going to miss out. And I don't want you to miss out. It's up to you, right? I'm giving you the goods, but you got to be here to actually take it. Okay. You have to be here to accept the goods. I'm giving it to you, but you have to be here to accept it. So this is what I have for you today. Like I said, you can get the workbook when you register. You can get access to the replays. All you need to do is go back. And another thing, we still have a couple of spots left for the retreat. So for those of you who, the Wealth Luxury Retreat is here. It's next week. I know this is what we're going to be working on in a small container. It's 3 days. It's going to be in lovely, sunny San Diego, California. So for those of you who you want some personalized attention, if you want to get your ideas flushed out, book a call with me, and let's see if you are a fit. Okay. For those of you who need a little bit more time, maybe this is not the time for you to travel, I would say book a call with me. Let's see if Dream to Driven is the right step for you. For most of you, it probably is 9 times out of 10. And so let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it, right? So that you can hit your Q4 goals, because the goal is for us to keep moving to hit the goals so that you can create the wealth and generational wealth that you want to create for yourself, right? So that you could create your own schedule, go on vacation when you want to go on vacation, right? Hit your income goals and actually make them. Set goals and actually make the goals, okay? And so we're going to talk about what it looks like to have sales conversations, how to put the right content out there so you're not chasing clients. All of those things are what we're doing at the retreat, right? So if you don't have your sales down, then if you have a signature service and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't feel confident about selling anything, I'm having a hard time finding clients, I don't know what I should be putting on social media, it's not clicking, it's not working, you need to book a call. Let's talk about it. Okay. So that is it. I'm going to hop off. If you have any questions, drop your questions in the comment section and I will circle back and answer that you have. Make sure you snag the replay, the lifetime access, because the videos will only be up for 24 hours. Usually what happens is people go back and they reach out to me and say, Terrell, do you have the video from day 2, day 1? And I'm going to say, did you purchase the replay? And they say, no, I'm going to just give you the link to purchase the replay, right? Unless you become a private client, then you get access to it. Okay. So that is it. I am going to log off. Have a good evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, let me just say tomorrow I will be broadcasting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. If something changes, I will post it in the group. But it's Friday. So I'm having the challenge a little bit earlier because it's Friday. Why not? Right? So with that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bring your lunch, come ready to work, and have a good day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.